To play the game, it picks first two random numbers and any random numbers, and you can set it with pick random number. For now, I just set to 1 to 20. You can do 1 to 100, 1 to 1000. You can go higher and higher. It'll get harder and harder.
So how did you make the game pick a random number?
I use the block pick random 0 to 10 for both number 1 and number 2 variables. The skills I learned how to code and use more blocks in make code, and I reviewed some new logics, and it was like kind of fun to do Moonpreneur. And I learned how to use more components in the Microbit board like this one.
That's awesome.
Like I learned how to use the board.
Welcome back to our podcast where we dive into the most exciting projects and games created by our young innovators. So today we are diving into a super fun and brain boosting math game. It's all about solving problems, thinking fast, and having a blast while learning. So get your pencils ready and your brain warmed up, and let's start playing. So, can you tell us your name, age, and something fun that you like to do?
This is me. I'm Pranav Santosh, and I really like soccer and I like Legos. I am 8 years old and I'm a second grader, and I'm very excited to join new classes and make more friends in third grade.
That's awesome, Pranav. Sounds like you have a lot of fun with soccer, football, Legos, and everything that you like. So now, tell us, what is your project called?
My project is called the math game. My math game shows two numbers and a comma in the middle, and you have to answer the question. Like if it shows a 5 comma 9, you have to do 5 plus 9, and then if you say 14 and if you tap button A, it'll show you 14, and if that's correct, you get 1 point. If you type B, it'll show you the same thing but minus.
So math game, that sounds exciting already. So what is your math game about?
My math game is about, it picks two random numbers, and then if it's like a 10 and a 20, it'll show 10 and a 20, and then you have to think 10 and a 20, and if it's 30, and I can check it by tapping number A. And if you say a 10 plus 20, 20 is 25, and then if you check it, it'll be wrong. And then if you have like 5 points, if you say it wrong, you lose 1 point. If you're starting with 0, you just start in 0.
Okay, so you also lose points. Nice. So I love that you're making math fun for us. So how do you play the game?
To play the game, it picks first two random numbers and any random numbers, and you can set it with pick random number. For now, I just set to 1 to 20. You can do 1 to 100, 1 to 1000. You can go higher and higher. It'll get harder and harder. So
I got it.
And then it'll show two random numbers. It's like 100 and 200. And then if you can answer 300, it'll be, and if you tap A, it'll be correct. And then, but if you want, you can change it to division and multiplication. I did not do that because I was only a second grade at that time. I didn't know multiplication, division. That's why I only did addition and subtraction. And then it'll show you the same thing. And then if you tap A plus B, it'll show you the same equation in minus.
I totally get it now. I have understood it a little, but it sounds simple but also fun. So how did you make the game pick random numbers?
I use the block pick random 0 to 10 for both number 1 and number 2 variables.
Okay, so that's smart thinking. So that keeps the game fresh every time, right?
Yeah.
So, why did you choose addition and subtraction?
I I chose addition and subtraction because I was learning addition and subtraction in my second grade. Anyways, I'm in third grade now, and I had the idea of making the game learn addition and subtraction in a fun and exciting and interesting way.
Absolutely. And it's always good to master the basics first. So, can you explain what happens when you press the button A?
If you tap button A, the game starts and picks two random numbers and shows it to a player. And between that, between letter A, if you tap button A, it does all of that, and if you had split a line in the middle, it'll show you. I put a show LED block that just looks like a comma.
Nice and simple. And what happens when you press button B?
When you tap button B, it adds the two numbers together and shows the total. And the total can be anything. The B was like a little hard to code because you have to add the both numbers, and we can't even show negative numbers, and we have to show the minus sign. It was like hard to code that one, so I got a little help from my dad.
That's
And
really
then
great.
to do this project, it took me like overnight to do it, because after my session ended, and then they said for next session is show and tell, so I had to do everything in the same day. So I did the same thing the same day.
That's amazing. That's a very good news. And I got it, the functions. And I have another question. And that is that what happens when you press like both A and B together?
It takes the two numbers and subtracts them and shows the answer. I did not do this until I had an idea, and then I thought I could. And I thought, what should we do? We have A and B done, so what else should we do? Then I got the idea of using A plus B, and then what should I do for A plus B? Then I thought, what if I do minus? And then I had the idea of doing minus.
That's like, so it's like a quick restart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was the hardest part of making your game?
The hardest part was like during when I was doing subtraction, I needed to use if then else block to make sure we're subtracting the smaller number from the bigger number. Or without if else, then it'll show negative numbers, which we don't want. If we want to do negative numbers, if we want, you can show a minus sign and a negative number. But I did not want to show negative numbers. That's why I did that.
Okay, yeah, so debugging can be tricky. So, what was your favorite part of making it?
Favorite part of making it was showing the equation, using if then else statement. It was like fun to code by myself, and like it was exciting and fun, and interesting to learn new blocks and make this game. I only got a little bit help from my dad, but that help was like only like if it was 100%, it was like 10-20% from my dad, but I did like 80-90% up from myself.
Absolutely, I would agree. And that's the best part, that playing your own game, like which you've created, right? So playing your own creation. So what skills like did you learn while making the code?
The skills I learned how to code and use more blocks and make code, and I reviewed some new logics, and it was like kind of fun to do Moonpreneur. It's like I can tell you the story in the end of the thing.
Sure, and I would love to hear that. So, those skills that you have learned that will help you in anything that you're gonna do. So, how did it feel when your game worked for the very first time?
I was like impressed and like I was impressed, excited, and I was like thoughtful. How did it work in the first time? Did like God do something for me? Did I get like a lucky penny or something? Like
I bet.
like not
Yes.
everyone can get it right in their first turn. It's like only like some people, not like most of the people.
Yes, yes, and I bet that's a great feeling, right?
Yeah.
So, what did you like learn from making this game?
Oh, I
Uh-huh.
learned how to use more and cool blocks, and I learned how to use more components in the microbit board like this one, which
That's
I have in my
awesome.
hand. Like I learned how to use the board. I learned how to use this. And I was
That's
so exciting. I was so excited, and my dad, because he hears me out of my room, out of my room every day, and then
uh-huh.
he was excited too. So
Okay,
I
that's
was so excited to like learn this. There's like some switches right here, and then there's the
yeah.
LED, some like noise thing. I I was like the first when I started this. I like this, and I thought it would be like a big board like this one, but it
Yeah.
actually turned out of this. Then I thought to myself, you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. Then I did not know then this could do many things. Then I know today this can do more things.
More things and so many more amazing games that it can make, right?
Yeah.
So, that's very true, and patience is the key most of all. So, do you want to make more games in the future?
Why are you asking me that? You already know the question is yes.
Oh, definitely, and I love that enthusiasm. So, what message do you like have for the kids who want to start coding?
Start strong and code more.
Code more. Yeah, that's such a great advice. And thanks for sharing your story with us today. And I can't wait to see your next creation. But in between that, you mentioned somewhere that you would want to share some stories. So can you tell me what is that story?
It all started when I was 7 years old and wanted to have more classes in the summer. Then my mom said, "You want this class, that class," and none of the classes fit for me. That's why this only class fit for me.
That's like a very good story, and thank you for sharing. And everyone, that was an exciting round of our math game. So we hope you enjoyed sharing your skill and having fun along the way. So remember, math isn't just number; it's a game you can win every day. And thanks for listening, and see you next time for more fun learning adventures. Thank you so much, Pranav.